The Panzer IV became an icon of the Wehrmacht and was the tank of choice for many elite SS Panzer divisions. It became the backbone of German tank divisions and was present on all fronts. Its service continued until the end of the war. Nearly 9,000 units were produced throughout the war, and production continued until the closing days of the war. It was Germany's most produced machine, despite the rise of vehicles like the Panther and the Tiger. As the war began, the Wehrmacht were widely equipped with Panzer Is and Panzer IIs, which were fast becoming obsolete. Plans to replace these vehicles had already begun in 1935. The result of this planning was different vehicles with two different roles, the Panzer III and the Panzer IV. The first vehicle specifications were set up in 1934 and it received the name Begleitwagen, a company vehicle, to help disguise its role, because tank development was still forbidden under the Treaty of Versailles. The Panzer IV was designed to be placed on the rearguard of Panzer divisions and to support Panzer IIIs in a 3:1 ratio. The Panzer IIIs were planned to spearhead attacks with their primary anti-tank capabilities, after which the Panzer IVs followed behind would destroy soft-skinned targets and fortifications. Leading up to the Ausführung E, the first series of Panzer IVs can be considered a pre-series, with only 465 units being produced in total. Each variant consisted of minor changes, including improved commander's cupola, changes and upgrades to the Maybach engine, increased armor protection and introduction of a hull machine gun. The Ausführung E was found to severely lack protection against British Matilda tanks, and the 37mm installed on the Panzer III was found to lack penetration. However, the Panzer III kept the 37mm. Frontal armor on both tanks was greatly increased, and the commander's cupola was moved further forward. The Ausführung E also allowed the installation of a large turret basket. Ausführung F1. The F1 version would be the last tank to feature the short-barreled infantry support gun. The key upgrades for this model was improvements to the frontal armor and increased track size. Ausführung F2. This Panzer IV model saw the introduction of the long-barreled 75mm Kampfwagenkanone 40L43, fitted with a muzzle brake and had greatly improved shell velocity. This new gun was now able to combat the new Russian tanks appearing at the start of Operation Barbarossa. Ausführung G. The Ausführung G was an improved Ausführung F2 model, with improved progressive glacis side armor and the new applique armor of 30mm for the frontal glacis, improving frontal armor to 80mm. Among other changes, the turret division splits were removed. Additional racks were installed for sped road wheels and track links, and the commander's cupola was up-armored. Later production variants of this model included the installation of armored skirts around the turret and, more importantly, the installation of a more powerful KWK-40 L48. Ausführung H. The Ausführung H had the improved KWK-40 L48 installed and also had hull vision slits removed to further simplify production. Hull-spaced armor was also added, and the Ausführung H formed the bulk of all Panzer IVs produced. Ausführung J. This production model's primary focus was to improve the production efficiency of the vehicles. This was not welcomed by crews, as this meant features such as the electrical turret drives were removed, meaning crew members had to manually crank the turret. Spaced metal sheets were soon dropped for cheaper wire mesh panels instead. The new long-barreled 75mm is what ensured the long service of the Panzer IV. The new gun was capable of fighting the new Soviet tanks throughout the time, and the power behind the gun meant it would stay relevant throughout the war. The hull design of the vehicle was also very successful, as it went on to form the basis of the Sturmgeschütz IV and the Jagdpanzer IV. It was a well-designed and well-made tank, suitable for German mass production capacity, which allowed it to remain present and relevant on all German fronts. The Panzer IV became the backbone of the German panzer divisions, but only after the introduction of the high-velocity 75mm main gun. It was present on all fronts and became an icon of the Wehrmacht, even with vehicles like the Panther and Tiger superseding these vehicles.